Asterisk, why didn't HYBE refute anything after Jungkook's mother's statement? Why is the army heating up? Click, read, and leave your comments, because this one is too big to ignore. Asterisk, it was the first question that filled the comments column on social media after a middle-aged woman appeared in a short video, wearing simple clothes, no make-up, and calling herself none other than Jungkook's biological mother, BTS's lead vocalist. But that's not what makes the army world shaken. What makes the atmosphere smolder are asterisk, his first words, asterisk. I have been silent for too long. But what HYBE did, it didn't just hurt my son, it destroyed him. Asterisk, so what really happened behind the scenes HYBE that has been tightly closed? What makes a mother who is known for taking great care of her family's privacy suddenly appear to the public and make a tearful voice? And most surprisingly, asterisk, why didn't HYBE give a single rebuttal? Just silent, as if losing complete control over the narrative. Asterisk, an hour after the video went viral, the hashtags #ProtectJungkook, #HYBE explain this, and #MamaJK began to occupy the ranks of the world's trending. But the public is still wondering, what was hidden all this time? Mrs. Jungkook's statement starts from one thing that sounds small, but has great explosive power. Jungkook's extreme training schedule during his trainee period. He told in detail how his underage son *** often cried in the dorm room, had shortness of breath, and a high fever ***, but was still forced to train because of the threat of unprofessional. That time Jungkook called me in the middle of the night and just said, "Mommy, I can pass out anytime." But he never gave up for fear of disappointing the team, so they say in the office. Jungkook's mother's eyes begin to glaze over when she mentions that one night, she flew from Busan to Seoul without HYBE's knowledge **, just because she wanted to hug her son who sounded like he was on the point of collapsing. But what happened was unexpected. I came to the training building, but they refused me entry. I saw my son just passing by a small window, pale and shivering, and they said, "This is not a good time for a family visit." I want to scream, but I am silent, for the sake of the good name of my son. Even more surprising, Ms. Jungkook mentioned that during this time there were contracts that limited communication between the family and the child, especially during the period of intensive training and preparation for the debut. A very serious claim and one that many entertainment lawyers are starting to talk about behind the scenes. What made the army public really explode with emotion was when Jungkook's mother said that in the early days of BTS's rise, Jungkook had a panic attack backstage but HYBE told him to keep performing under the pretext that this was just a mental test. I didn't know it was on TV until the army sent me a video. My son was forced to sing while holding his breath and grasping his right arm because of the shaking. Some army members recalled a similar incident in an old video in which Jungkook was seen limping after performing and being carried off the stage. It was then called ordinary fatigue. Now a lot of fans are starting to ask, is that one of the many things that's been covered up? HYBE herself did not give an official statement until more than 48 hours after Jungkook's mother's video went viral. When the media tried to contact the management team, the answer they got was simply, "We are verifying the information." However, their calmness only made matters worse. Many fans started creating their own investigation threads, collecting all the video footage, audio recordings, and even testimonials from former BTS staff and bodyguards implying that Jungkook had been under heavy pressure for years. If it wasn't for Jimin, Jungkook wouldn't have survived. One of Jungkook's mother's statements that brought ARMY to tears was when she told how Jimin was the only person who regularly contacted Jungkook's family secretly. "My son has many friends, but Jimin, he's like a light. When I can't come, she cooks porridge. She changes Jungkook's blanket when my son has a fever. I have always been indebted to him." This statement made many fans recall the moments Jimin was seen accompanying Jungkook like a sibling, but was never discussed by the mainstream media. Now, All those pieces began to form a huge mosaic that could no longer be ignored. The question now is not only about the truth of the past, but also about the future. ***, what impact will this statement have on Jungkook and HYBE's relationship? ***, will this be the starting point for a new freedom for K-pop idol artists to speak without fear of exclusion? Dan, will Jungkook leave HYBE after all this? ***, I don't want to blame anyone, but I don't want my grandson, if Jungkook ever has children, to go through the same thing and keep it all to himself like his father. I want this truth to be known. I want my child to be free from burdens that are not his. ***, and with a quivering voice, he added ***, if you love Jungkook, help him heal this wound. ***, army around the world is now divided between confusion, anger, and tears. Many are beginning to demand clarity and transparency from HYBE, not just for Jungkook, but for all the idols who are still in a system that may be too quiet for them to speak. Now all eyes are on Jungkook. ***, will it make a sound? ***, or will HYBE issue a statement that could turn all public perceptions upside down? One thing is for sure, ***, the world of K-pop will never be the same again after today. ***, all attention is now on two parties that have so far been considered unshakable in the South Korean entertainment industry, HYBE and BTS. But that night, a narrative that's been built for more than a decade began to crack from within, not by haters, not by the media, but by the most sincere and most unexpected voice, a mother. What happened behind the glass walls of HYBE's rehearsal studio for so many years can no longer be buried. The video of Jungkook's confession sparked a chain reaction not only among ARMY, but also among former trainees, former managers, and even fellow idols from other agencies who started throwing light satire through their personal accounts. It came as a surprise speculation that Jungkook's mother did not speak alone. A number of fans and industry observers began to suspect that this statement was the culmination of accumulated frustration that had long been felt by the family and even other BTS members. But only Jungkook's mother was brave enough to take the first risk to speak out. Even more disturbing is the rumor that began to spread in the closed community of senior fans that Jungkook's mother had actually tried to contact HYBE personally in recent years, but never got the reply she deserved. In fact, one letter was reportedly rejected by the staff on the grounds that it was not in accordance with the artist's communication procedures. Then a screenshot allegedly from one of the private emails, containing an official complaint from Jungkook's family circulated in South Korea's largest fan community. In the email, Jungkook said he had experienced tremendous pressure from executive staff when rejecting certain brand promotion requests. The pressure is not only verbal, but also in the form of threats to reduce media exposure and individual stages. What is not known to the public until now is that the brand in question is an exclusive partner of HYBE and has used the face of another idol as the main model, which is then said to replace Jungkook's position because it is considered more contractually compliant. Not stopping there, a former stylist who had worked for BTS during the early days of the debut promotion uploaded a cryptic story on his personal account containing only one sentence: "Do you think they choose what they wear?" Even the wound on Jungkook's foot due to narrow shoes was forced to be kept quiet. A few hours after that, the account disappeared completely. Is it removed due to pressure? Or because of a request from the management? Nobody knows. But the screenshots have already spread around the world. The issue then quickly rolls over. Is this the beginning of a split between Jungkook and HYBE? Fans began speculating that the main reason Jungkook rarely appeared in variety shows these days was not because of personal busyness, but because of an inner conflict with the agency that was increasingly difficult to tolerate. In fact, some fans suspect that he has several times refused schedules imposed by the company, something that is very rare in the South Korean idol system. The most heartbreaking thing was when, in her confession, Jungkook's mother mentioned a night she could not forget. He sat on the floor, in the corner of the rehearsal room, hugged his knees and said to me via video call, "If I wasn't BTS's Jungkook, would I still be loved?" It was the first time I heard my son doubt his own existence. Those words hit right into the emotional center of fans who have always seen Jungkook as strong, cheerful, and unshakable. But the newly revealed reality is that the smile we see on screen may be one that was conceived to survive. Why didn't HYBE immediately refute all this? That's the biggest question right now. Usually, within minutes of the rumors spreading, they will issue an official clarification. But now, they're silent. And in that silence, wild theories continue to grow. Some say HYBE is putting together a counter-narrative, but it's difficult because Jungkook's mother's credibility is so strong and emotional. There are also those who suspect that the other BTS members are silent not because they don't know, but because they have been bound for too long by the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, that restrains them. And this statement by Jungkook's mother could be the first hole that finally breaks the years of silent agreement. Not only that, a leaked internal document shows that in 2018, Jungkook once refused a request to join a certain variety program for mental health reasons, but was responded to with an internal warning letter from a senior staff member. The document, although unconfirmed, has been running wild in various anonymous forums and has made the public increasingly suspect that there is a repressive system that has been tightly closed. HYBE Legal has reportedly held an emergency meeting. But as of this writing, no official statement has been released. No clarification, no defense, no apology. And precisely because of that silence, the ARMY's voice now boomed louder than ever. The phrase is now plastered on various platforms, reflecting that this is no longer just an issue of artists and agencies, but a moral and humanitarian issue. The ARMY now doesn't just demand an explanation, it demands protection, justice, and respect for Jungkook's more than a decade of hard work. The most ironic thing is that during this time, Jungkook was known as the most loyal member to his agency. He almost never complained in public, always referring to the HYBE family with a respectful tone. But precisely because of that loyalty, the public is now asking, is that loyalty rewarded with silent pressure? In many old video footage, fans are now looking back with a new perspective. A blank look, a faint smile that appeared and then disappeared in seconds, moments when Jungkook seemed to be trying to hold back something. It feels like a new piece of the puzzle is starting to come together. Is this the end of the silence of the great idols? Will the industry start to change after the mother of a superstar chooses to have a voice? Or will there be severe consequences for Jungkook's family after this? All possibilities are now open. But one thing cannot be replayed. The world now knows and will not stand still. That night, when the video of Jungkook's mother was re-aired by hundreds of large fanbase accounts around the world, one thing became clear. This was not just a momentary emotional outburst. This is a form of resistance to a system that has always made everyone feel they have no right to speak. And even more surprising is that, behind the sadness, there is an undeniable note of tension, a note of silent threat to a side that has long felt immune from public questioning. A few hours after the viral video went viral, one of the former choreographers who had worked with BTS during the Wings era posted a short sentence on his personal account. The sentence seems ordinary to ordinary people, but for the ARMY who understand the context, it is like a bullet. Finally, the voice of the mother is heard, after the voice of her son has been silenced for years. It didn't take long before the account was deleted. Not disabled, removed completely. This incident sparked much greater suspicion. Did HYBE really use his influence to control the public narrative, even to the point of silencing the people they used to work with? And if this is so, how many sad stories, wounds, even psychological traumas have been buried just for the sake of maintaining a clean and favorable global image? Even more painful was when information appeared from a lawyer who admitted that he had once refused an offer to cooperate with HYBE due to the inhuman terms of the contract. In a secretly recorded online chat room session, he mentioned that in one of the clauses of the trainee's draft contract, there was a sentence that allowed the agency to strictly regulate sleep hours and diet, even to the point of suspending family communication if it is considered that it interferes with artistic development. That sentence instantly made everyone in the room silent. If true, then it's not just Jungkook who has experienced it. All idols may have gone through this condition without anyone ever knowing. There was also a rumor that was very sensitive and slapped on the public consciousness that in early 2019, Jungkook had disappeared for 2 whole days without news. Fans thought it was just part of the break, but reportedly he was treated secretly in a small hospital outside the city due to low blood pressure and acute anxiety disorder. There are no official medical reports. There is no public recognition. Not even the closest staff knew for sure what was happening. The source who exposed this story used very specific words, like hidden. And when the media began trying to track down possible traces of the hospital where Jungkook was treated, they found that 2 nurses who had worked there suddenly quit and disappeared from the hospital's active staff list. No explanation. No trace online. Like being silenced by an invisible force. One short video from the backstage of the Speak Yourself concert began to be shared again.